Letting go is one of the most profound and transformative acts a person can undertake. It is a journey of releasing what no longer serves us, whether it be grudges, unrealistic expectations, toxic attachments, or even self-defeating habits. At its core, the art of letting go is about creating space for peace, growth, fulfillment, and ultimately, freedom. It allows us to step out of the cycles of suffering that are often perpetuated by holding on too tightly to things we cannot control. By embracing the wisdom of letting go, we reclaim our ability to live in the present and open ourselves to the richness of life's experiences. This ancient principle has been a cornerstone of philosophies and spiritual teachings throughout history, offering guidance on how to cultivate a balanced and peaceful life. Today, as the pace of life accelerates and the weight of modern pressures grows heavier, the lessons of letting go have never been more relevant. The wisdom of letting go is rooted in ancient traditions, stretching back thousands of years. Buddhism, for instance, is built upon the idea that attachment is one of the primary causes of human suffering. The Buddha taught that clinging to people, possessions, or even ideals leads to dukkha, often translated as dissatisfaction or suffering. In the Four Noble Truths, he explained that the path to enlightenment and liberation involves the cessation of craving, which can only be achieved through the practice of detachment. This doesn't mean rejecting life or relationships, but rather embracing them without grasping too tightly. To let go is not to abandon care or commitment, but to release the illusion of control. This nuanced understanding of detachment offers a timeless framework for finding inner peace. The Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece and Rome echoed similar sentiments. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic thinker, frequently reflected on the impermanence of life. In his meditations, he wrote that we should accept the transient nature of all things and focus on what is within our control. To the Stoics, letting go meant relinquishing attachment to outcomes and external circumstances, instead prioritizing how we respond to events. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, emphasized that freedom comes from recognizing the limits of our power. He believed that by letting go of the need to control the uncontrollable, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and anxiety. This ancient wisdom resonates deeply in a modern context, where people often feel overwhelmed by their inability to manage every aspect of their lives. The art of letting go is also central to Taoist philosophy. Laozi, the author of the Tao Te Ching, spoke of the importance of yielding and going with the flow of life. The Tao, or the Way, is an ever-changing current of existence, and resisting it only leads to frustration and imbalance. Letting go in this context is about aligning oneself with the natural order, allowing life to unfold without undue interference or resistance. This principle is beautifully encapsulated in the metaphor of water, which is soft and yielding, yet capable of wearing away the hardest stone over time. Taoist wisdom teaches that surrendering to life's flow is not a sign of weakness, but of profound strength and adaptability. In many indigenous traditions, letting go is seen as an essential part of the cycles of life. The concept of release is embedded in rituals that mark transitions, letting go of childhood during rites of passage, releasing grief during mourning ceremonies, or shedding old identities to embrace new roles within the community. These practices remind us that letting go is not only natural but necessary for renewal and growth. Indigenous peoples often frame this process within the context of interconnectedness, understanding that holding on too tightly can disrupt the balance of relationships, whether with other people, the environment, or oneself. In more recent history, the theme of letting go has been explored through psychology and self-help movements. Sigmund Freud recognized the importance of grieving and releasing emotional attachments as part of the process of psychological healing. Later, Carl Jung emphasized the necessity of individuation, which often requires letting go of societal expectations or inherited beliefs that no longer align with our true selves. In the mid-20th century, Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, wrote about the human capacity to find meaning in suffering. His approach emphasized letting go of what cannot be changed, external circumstances, and instead focusing on how we choose to respond. This idea continues to shape therapeutic practices today, from cognitive behavioral therapy to mindfulness-based stress reduction. As society has become more globalized and interconnected, the pressures of modern life have intensified the need for letting go. The rise of social media, for example, has created new forms of attachment, such as the need for validation through likes and comments. The art of letting go challenges these narratives, reminding us that true fulfillment cannot be bought or measured by external markers. Incorporating the lessons of letting go into modern life begins with self-awareness. Recognizing what we are holding on to and why is the first step. Are we clinging to a relationship out of fear of loneliness? This process often requires courage and vulnerability as it challenges deeply ingrained habits and beliefs. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for cultivating the art of letting go. By bringing our attention to the present moment, we can observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. Practices such as meditation, yoga, or even mindful walking help create the mental space needed to release attachments. For example, when feelings of anger or resentment arise, mindfulness allows us to acknowledge these emotions without letting them dictate our actions. Over time, this practice strengthens our ability to let go of habitual reactions and approach life with greater equanimity. Gratitude is another practice that supports letting go. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we can shift our perspective and release the need for more. Gratitude fosters contentment, which in turn makes it easier to let go of the pursuit of external validation or material accumulation. Journaling about the things we are grateful for, no matter how small, can be a simple yet transformative exercise. Similarly, acts of generosity, whether through giving time, resources, or kindness, can help us loosen our grip on the idea that we must always hold on to what is ours. Forgiveness is perhaps one of the most challenging yet rewarding aspects of letting go. To forgive is not to condone wrongdoing, but to free ourselves from the burden of carrying resentment. Research has shown that forgiveness can improve mental and physical health, reducing stress and promoting emotional well-being. Practicing forgiveness requires empathy, both for others and for ourselves. Letting go of self-blame or guilt is just as important as releasing anger toward others. This act of compassion toward ourselves fosters healing and creates space for personal growth. In relationships, letting go often involves recognizing and respecting boundaries. It means allowing others the freedom to be themselves rather than trying to control or change them. This is particularly important in close relationships, where attachment can easily become entangled with expectations. Letting go in this context does not mean disengaging, but rather loving and supporting others without imposing our desires onto them. Similarly, letting go in professional settings might involve releasing the need for perfection or accepting that not every opportunity will go as planned. Letting go also requires acceptance of impermanence. Everything in life is temporary: relationships, possessions, successes, and even life itself. Accepting this truth can be difficult, but it is also liberating. When we embrace the transient nature of existence, we can fully appreciate the present without clinging to it. This perspective helps us navigate transitions with grace, whether it be the loss of a loved one, a career change, or the end of a chapter in our lives. Practices like Buddhist meditation on impermanence or journaling about life's cycles can deepen our understanding of this concept and help us integrate it into our daily lives. Incorporating the art of letting go into modern life is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to confront discomfort. Yet the rewards are profound: greater peace of mind, deeper connections with others, and a more authentic relationship with ourselves. By letting go of what no longer serves us, we create space for new opportunities, experiences, and growth. We learn to trust in life's unfolding, even when it takes us in unexpected directions. As we conclude, it is worth reflecting on the transformative power of letting go. It is an act of courage, a declaration of faith in the resilience of the human spirit. In letting go, we find freedom. In freedom, we find peace. And in peace, we discover the essence of a life well lived. Join us again on our quest through space and time as we unravel the mysteries, complexities, and fundamental truths of the world around us, traveling together on our journey down the path of greater intellectual wisdom.